This is just the worst. You should be able to hear me now. Can you hear me now? I like the icons also. I'm super impressed by that Kraken. You did well. Also, how are you? Let me check on stream as well. Like this is just the worst. Test. Like this is just the worst. I think we. Are you sure? Are you sure? Because on my on my other computer I can hear myself now. Only on one ear, which is another problem I'm gonna try to fix in a minute. But the level meter is working, and I'm pretty sure I am transmitting sound now. Maybe restart one more time. I'm gonna nice. Well, at least something. Oh man. The worst. One day it works perfectly. The next time it crashes. Like the next day, I did nothing different in comparison to yesterday. Actually, my stream setup yesterday was more complicated than today. In a way. Again, shout out to Paul, that was really cool. Nice having you here. Yeah. Like annoying. Annoying to no end. So let me fix this mono stereo issue. I think that should fix it now. Yeah. Hog Wild, yeah. Alright. That is like not my usual intro, but I tried 2 times earlier, right? So welcome everyone. Welcome Malte. Hope you're doing better. Yeah, Microsoft Obama. It is Microsoft, it is Jack Audio. I don't like it. I don't know why. Like I can't.
Do you want me to think that you're wild?
I think there's no logic to it. It just sometimes crashes and sometimes it doesn't. Anyway. So let's get into it after all. Anyone who watched yesterday's video, which was a quick short one, like a clean 1 hour cut. It was kind of cool actually. Of how we prepared like the mix. Paul is gonna attempt of my song The Threshold. It is totally possessed, yeah. Actually, I don't work with Teams. I work with Zoom mostly, and Zoom is like it is a weird beast. It's a wild animal as well, but it kind of does work. Like Actually, I'm trying to, like, I will probably try to put my next streaming setup on Zoom to connect my two computers so I can, you know, have the mainstream hosted on my MacBook, which probably will hold because like there's not so much complicated stuff going on there. And also because, like, let's face it, the Mac audio drivers are simply better. They are superior. I don't know. I'm not a MacBook guy, but or an Apple guy, but it is what it is. Anyway, let me get back into what I was like. Yeah, okay. So besides the technical problems, what I want to do today is I want to prepare the stands for Paul to mix. And who was, like anybody who was there yesterday, it was a very cool stream. I enjoyed it very much. I had so much fun as well. Yeah, we talked about some basics, and today we're gonna implement them. And I'm gonna export the tracks and yeah, maybe some of these, and explain what I'm doing. And yeah, it's like this is basically the continuation of the conversation yesterday, just me executing on what we were talking about. And yeah, getting things ready. And this is something I think everyone who is like kind of thinking about, oh, I have a track that is there, I think I want to release it, can learn from what do you actually do to prepare your track to be mixed by an engineer, either like on premise somewhere. If you know someone who does that stuff in your area, you should probably go to them, because personal contact is really good. If that's not a possibility, there's always things like Fiverr, right, where you can also hire good mixing engineers. Like my first and only release so far, I did via a mix engineer I hired from Fiverr, and that worked out very well, especially for the price point, I think. Yeah, and there I did already a process which I would have liked to document then, but I wasn't there yet. At that time I was thinking about making YouTube videos, and I never found the time to edit them, and yeah, so that's one of the main reasons I stream now, because like I can do it on the fly, and then I have problems with so much stuff. But anyway, don't want to get back into that. So what we talked about was we will leave, like, the first thing I mentioned already is that Paul prefers to have the stems in both versions, wet and dry, and we kind of talked about what that is yesterday already, but just to get back into it, right? Let me hold the music for 1 second. You have a track, like any track, right? Let's take the, I don't know, let's take the lead in this section here, just as an example. And I think this one has a sound, yeah, right. Or actually, that's not a good one, because that one is a sound design one. But let's take this one. Yeah, let's take this one. Like you can hear, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a ton of plugins on this track. Like, right, without all these plugins, the same track would sound like this. Quite the difference, although not as extreme as I would have predicted. Anyway, still though, there's a sound signal from the original synth I was using for this layer, and yeah, basically there are a ton of plugins on that signal to make it sound like I intended initially, but of course you're hiring, or in this case collaborating with a mix engineer to have him make some decisions, especially about things regarding room, right? As I mentioned, there's specific types of plugins on this specific sound, for example, such as, I'm gonna turn these off for a second. These are pretty much sound design, right? Like the OTT is a mixing tool somehow as well, right? I'm gonna focus on this for a second. Actually, also, can you hear that on stream? Yes, you can. Yeah, so there are plugins on here that are mostly for sound design, like OTT, some over-the-top compression, like that's where the acronym comes from. And in this case, for example, I put Tantrum on here, which distorts the signal to make it more aggressive sounding. Right, if I take this off, this without, right? It's not night and day, but you can kind of hear without. It's a little more aggressive, a little more, distorted. And yeah, and then a clipper, which is again kind of like the way I'm using it can be both, but the way I'm using it here is more of a sound design tool than a mixing tool. The mix rack, which is a mixing tool, like we're gonna come to that in a second. And also I'm using this only for mixing. Another OTT, because why only take one if you can have two? And an Infinity EQ, which again is mixing. So these are like, I broke it down for this track. This one, this one, this one, and also why isn't showing the rest? Maybe this one are sound design, and this one is mixing, and these are, and that's one of the things I was gonna get into, are pure mixing, right? Especially room effects. Same deal, right? Or let's do it the other way around, without. There's some room in there already, which I'm actually not quite sure if I like that. Can we go back to the instrument for a second here? Actually, like, that's a coincidence, right? But now that I heard that, I'm thinking, that sounds hella roomy already, and I don't know if I want that. Did we have... Kind of interesting. Like there's a lot of room going on already in this track, and I don't exactly know why, because I don't think I added any room effects, or is it, maybe it's a very slow. But no reverb here. A very slow decay, right, of the synth. Like that can sound the same, like fading out of the original signal via decay, right? This, or release in this case. That can sound like. Okay, yeah, that can sound like. What's the word? Can sound like reverb, but I didn't do any specific reverbs on these. One thing that kinda does that is the hyperdimension. But there's this super long tail, right? Like that's kinda interesting. Um, really interesting actually. Okay, so technically the revival actually is a mixed sound design tool in this occasion. Yeah, so there's this long tail which is not particularly what I'm intending to do. Maybe I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna go to the main point for now, which is especially the room effects are effects you let your mix engineer do. And now I was really distracted, but I'm gonna get back on point. You have some effects on your, like the basic point is super simple, right? You have some effects on your tracks that are kind of used to shape the sound creatively in a way, or more creatively, like actually determining its timbre and like how aggressive it is or not, how soft or how aggressive, I mentioned already anyway. And then you have other effects that kind of put it into a, like put all your sounds into a space and kind of try to make a whole depth perception and other stuff. And like the latter you probably let your mix engineer do. And like we refer to a signal as being dry when you hear only the. Oh, now I get it. That's where space is coming from. Let's go. I overlooked more sense. These are the guys. These are the offenders here. Anyway, yeah, so that demonstrates it really well though, right? Dry. Kinda with sound design effects, and then with mixing effects, which technically this one probably was mixing, but you get the point, right? Like they are kind of putting the signal to a space, and yeah, we agreed on Paul needing dry and wet tracks. Yeah. So that's one thing we are gonna do. That's one thing I'm gonna try to do now in a second. I'm gonna go through all these tracks and kind of sort out which ones were sound design and which ones were mixing. And then I'm gonna create a version of this with all the mixing effects and one without. That's one thing, and the other thing is I prepared that yesterday already, just for Paul's convenience, right? And I put a prefix on all of these tracks so it's easier to identify them because they are a lot. I think we are looking at 90 plus tracks, and that's the other aspect I was gonna get into anyway, which is these are 90 plus tracks, right? But actually maybe not. And what I mean by that is we have some effects here where like there's one track here, this one doesn't do anything, if I see that correctly. Oh, it does once in the whole song, but that's kind of the point, right? I thought I overlooked one, so no, it does make sense. But yeah, this is one effect that's somewhere in the song, right? And we have a lot of tracks that are kind of like that. We have some clap throws here, right, which only do something in this specific part of the song. Similarly, these and you could sum up some of these, which would mean like rendering all of these sounds to a single track. And maybe we can squash this down from 90 to maybe, I don't know, 70 tracks or something like that, just to make Paul's life a little easier. And kind of similarly, you have like instruments that are layered, like for example the bass in the like crazy drummer section at the end. Kind of interesting why it's anyway, and what I was trying to say is some of these are like layers, but they are kind of more or less the same thing, right? We have one layer, which absolutely sends everything into distortion, interestingly enough, which is, we're gonna have a look at that in a second, right? Like we have to take care of that, because I don't want to send clipped tracks. But yeah, basically that's from the theory of it, everything we're gonna do. We're gonna examine these tracks, kind of try to make a rough mix for him as a reference. Also, reference is one thing we did not mention yesterday. I'm gonna talk a second about that. We forgot to talk about reference tracks, which is something you usually also agree with your producer on. Or mix engineer actually, where you say, hey, I have this track where I love the, I don't know, how the snare kind of works, and yeah, then you kind of agree on specific tracks as references for specific things. Like it doesn't have to be one track that's like, this is perfect, make it exactly like that one, which it could be. Like maybe you have the song, you want to have everything else sound like, and you like every aspect of that song, but it might also be that you have like 3 songs or maybe even 5. If you say, okay, I like how loud in general this one is, I like how in this other one like the space for the verb and the space for the snare work really well. In this one I like the kick, how the kick specifically sounds, and like I want to take this from that and this from there, and can you please Frankenstein that together and make my song's elements fit each of these things like in the references. So maybe we find that, because I have one song that is, we'll see how well we can actually translate it, but that kind of inspired this, and yeah, I do like some aspects from that, so we're going to probably also pick that one. Anyway, that's all I had to say introductory. Now there's a lot of parts that is simply, what's the word? In German you say, ohne Fleiß kein Preis. Which basically means sometimes you gotta just push through it and do the work. So, to get the prize at the end. Yeah, in the end. So, basically, first things first, I wanna have a rough mix. Which kind of works as a reference as well for Paul to see how things were kind of intended originally.
On your knees, take it. What is your fight?
Which I'm pretty sure we already did. which is basically this. I think when I showed it yesterday, there was something wrong with the mastering chain. I probably tried. I don't know. I can't even remember. I probably tried mastering it already and kind of messed the whole thing up. This is pretty much what I'm envisioning as the rough mix, right? So I'm gonna export that first and basically render this down as the main idea of, okay, so that's what I had in mind in general. Yeah, this should take only a couple of seconds. Also, I'm super tired. Yeah, I kinda, that's also why I'm kinda surprise streaming today. We had the talk yesterday, and then like that wasn't live, but it was 1 hour, so I uploaded it, and then I thought, okay, yeah, Paul probably wants to get started, and I'm kind of excited to see him get started and kind of see the results and stuff. So I'm gonna do it soon, and so I thought, okay, we are like, I am trying to get them out, the songs, as quickly as I can. So, is the camera crashing as well now? What the hell, man? The camera crashed as well. Like, what the actual hell is going on here? I'm gonna try to restart the camera. Maybe we can get it that way. This is the absolute worst, like I'm exhausted. I gotta say I'm exhausted. This is exhausting. Oh man. Okay, can we restart the camera in screen? Where are you? Off. On. Deactivated. Activated. Oh, actually. Wow. Hey, MacGyver that one. At least, like, but wow, why is all equipment, everything set up failing? I can't. Anyway, I was gonna say we are done exporting this mixdown, so let's call it like that. Or let's actually make a lead package, right? So let's make a new package. Threshold. Mix pack. And yeah, basically we start copying this into here, and then I'm call this threshold basic mix or something like that, so Paul knows that this one is the kind of starting version for everything. Also, right, good idea to always include what you want. Thank you very much. Program very, very, very well done. Very well done. Anyway, yeah, to include notes with your with your back, so you can leave messages in there, right? Anyway, wow, today is like really it's rough. Like today, nothing wants to work the way I do. Anyway, yeah, that was super exhausting. Anyway, step 1 done. Right, focus now. Step 1 done. Basic mix exported. Let's check the file for 1 second and kind of see if everything's going well here.
You see here, kid? You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came and
yeah, right. So that seems to work. Also, no, I shouldn't have closed it. That one is on me. I just want to leave it on. Right, so we have some neat background music going on. I always thought I would like to stream other people's music, but I don't know about rights and stuff, and probably you're gonna get banned. Like most, yeah, not banned, but like demonetized and muted and everything. So I'm gonna play all my own music until I figured out the whole rights situation. Anyway, so basic mix done. So next steps would be to basically take all these and that is probably gonna take a lot of time actually, but render these out. I think I did already the naming of every channel, so yeah, we have FX here, yeah. Effects, drums, bass, a lot of bass, instruments, vocals. Yeah, so I did already do that off stream in preparation, and that means we can probably do the first version really quickly, and it's gonna take some time. It's gonna be boring, maybe. Like on a YouTube video, you would probably cut this part, but I mean, what can we do? There are some settings it's worth mentioning and going over though, which is obviously the range, which in this case I already placed the start and end markers very carefully. And then you can select which channels you actually you can also select which tracks you want to export, which is probably what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to have anything of any of the or do I? That's one thing we talked about yesterday, but like the sentence I was gonna finish was, I'm not sure if I want to have the group processing actually in the song, or if I'm gonna leave decisions like that to Paul. And I think I want to leave decisions like that to Paul. Like to me, that's kind of a basic part of mixing. Also, I see some track names which could still be improved. I saw effects Mixdown 1. Nobody can work with that. So let's see if we can fix some of that. What does that one do? Oh, it's more. Weird glitchy noises. So I'm gonna rename this one real quick. That's one thing you probably do as well. just to like, you don't have to do it, but it's nice to do it for your mixing engine. And also maybe it's also actually clever to do, because the less time they spend with just figuring out what's on what track, the more time they can spend on actually mixing your track. So I like to do this work beforehand. Like if you work with a super expensive and like it doesn't matter how many tracks you send, and right, like if you're on top of the game, you probably don't do that. They have assistants for stuff like that, and right, but like do yourself a favor, do your mixing engineer a favor, name your tracks somewhat recognizably. Anyway, I think that probably works kinda. So I am actually gonna export this now. A couple more settings, right? Obviously you can check all the tracks you want to export, and this, like, track wise I'm gonna go with all of them. There are some other things you can check, right? Sample rate, resolution. I'm gonna go with pretty high values. Actually I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go with 48 kilohertz and 32 bit. Or actually maybe 24, because let's be real, it doesn't make any difference. It can, in specific, certain very niche cases, it could make a difference, but in this case I don't think it will. Yeah, a couple of other things you can do, right? Publishing file name prefix is already fine. We mentioned the range, and then you can look for stuff here, or for the speaker format especially, and things like use real-time processing, which would make everything a lot quicker, right? But kind of, if he actually uses this demo, I want to have him the best. I want him to have the best possible version of the audio, which means no real-time processing, right? That might means that specific plugins might do especially things like oversampling and other things, like multiple passes of the same render. They turn off if you do real-time listening in the DAW, right? So you can you have a good chance of everything playing live and not stuttering. But if you then actually render everything, you want to have the best quality, right? And then you want to have multiple render passes and everything. So it might take longer than the actual song. Also, just a nice thing to do, that reminds me, write tempo to audio files, right? That's a nice thing to do. Also, that's one of the first things we should note for a mixing engineer, what speed we are at, which in this case is 170 BPM. Also nice to mention which key this song is in, which in this case is B flat minor. It's not super important usually, but it can have a difference. Like the beats per minute, definitely. That's way easier for the mix engineer, because when they import the track, right, they can already set the timing correctly. Every clip should align perfectly, and you have basically the you can set points in the song on specific markers, and they should align with what you originally did. Also, we're gonna reference that in a second, because obviously it would be nice if we already gave them the structure of the song as well, right? Which I'm gonna do in a second when we render and we don't have anything to do anyway. But yeah, that's one thing that reminded me like this. Then you can also already import them, which I'm not going to do at this point, and whether you want to close. In this case, I don't. I want to have everything rendered. So while that's going on, we can actually do the boring part, kind of actually writing down the structure. Which is actually not easy to figure out. Can I? Oh, I cannot click. Oh, the window is molded. No. Well, ain't that a bummer? Well, I'm gonna outline at least the sections. We have an intro. We have a drum break. We have verse 1. 21 minutes. Are you kidding me? Well, this might get interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna think about that in a second. If I remember correctly, we have a drum, we have an intro. We have actually verse 1 before that. Then we have the drum break. Then verse 2. Then chorus, then more drum shenanigans, as it's called there, and then the super intense jungle break, and then the outro, which is quite an involved structure. Like, not all my songs do have that. I mean, it's not no Bohemian Rhapsody, right? It's just, but it's more than usually. Okay. We can add one more to this, actually, to this playlist. It stopped playing, apparently. Probably because every song played already. Releases. Actually, I found out that it was 2021 already. Like, it was at the end of 2021, basically the start of 2022. But technically, I released this in 2021. Anyway, demo, right? Here's the demo. That's kind of interesting. Let's use that version just because it's fun. Yeah. What else could we use this time for, at least? Things like notes, right? We talked about these on stream already, but that's a good idea to have them down in text as well, right? So, notes. The first thing I want to really emphasize, which I already did yesterday, right? So I'm just kind of repeating myself, but just to be sure. Yeah, right. When we have the drum breaks, as I already mentioned a couple of times, it was really interesting. Like a lot of people criticized the song for being so drum centric, and actually also many of those people phrased it as a problem with the song, right? Including kinda Bob Varro. And as I mentioned already earlier, I think he was right, or they were right in some sense, right? Like some more musical elements are cool. But I do think that this song in particular is drum oriented. This is a drum song, it's a jungle song, and it's drum and bass basically. It's a weird version of drum and bass, but yeah, there are specific parts of the song where I really do want the drums to be the center of attention, and like, everything else is kind of like background to the drums, like, and the drums are the main thing. So that's what I want to bring down, right? In the drum breaks, I do want the drums to be the center of attention. In the verse parts, other elements. Where you see fit, right? And the other sections, I would love to be able to show them to you in the actual song, but I can't because it's like the window is kind of blocking everything, which is a bummer. Anyway, where you see fit. Yeah, that's one main thing I want to lay down, right? Apart from that, there's a song. I'm not gonna play too much of it, but I kind of want to show. There are a couple of influences in the song actually. Like one of them is this one. Hajanal, I think, is the way you pronounce it, but don't quote me on that. By Venetian Snares, and that is such a great song, man. That's such a good song. I love it so much, and kinda I'm not sure if anybody can actually recognize that. I'm not sure how. Like I don't think I'm super close to this one. Like there's, and like at the same time, I think like the DNA of that song is totally rushing through my one, but they are totally different, right? And just a quick scan through it, just in order to not get muted for too long again. Right, that's like super classical intro. Classic, more classic. Then we get at some point we get to the a more jazzy part. Right, and then the drum breaks come in somewhere around here. They sound a lot more jungly than what I did. Then like all these elements mix in some form, and then yeah, and then we get yeah. Great song. Do listen to it if you have the chance. I cannot emphasize how much I love the song enough. Hajanal, I think, by Venetian Snares. Super great song. And oh, wait, I wanted to give me my, where is my, yeah, I wanted to go back to this one because I wanted to reference it. Oh, also leave a like there. Leave a like. Also with me, maybe. Or a downvote, your call. But yeah, feel free to subscribe or like or dislike or comment and tell me what I can do better. That's great. Like, I always forget to just say that at the end of videos. I should. But yeah, I think I've said it enough now. Anyway, reference this. And kind of mention that, right? One major influence for me in starting this song was this song by Venetian Snares. Maybe, oh, yeah. Okay, I'm writing this in English now, and I'm noticing that it's kind of stupid when I communicate with Paul, because we both speak German as our mother tongue, right? But, okay. So I don't think I wanna think both at the same time, so I'm gonna do it in English anyway, and then I don't know, maybe translate it later or anything. Anyway, yeah. So one thing I want to say is that especially the drums would be cool if they similar to this, if possible. Also, I'm noticing that my song is super full with elements, especially compared to this one. If you think the song would benefit from stripping elements and emphasizing others more, feel free to make creative decisions. That's basically it. That's what I want to say to him, I think. Right? There's one thing that's super important to me. The drums are the center of attention into here. So I want to give him a hint of, hey, feel free to drop something, right? If it doesn't work, if you have a feeling like, oh, actually, you know what? This is too full, and also I kind of can't cram everything into the sonic space we have. Ditch it. Leave it. In the end, I want to have the best song possible, not specifically every element I spend work on in it, right? Actually, that's what I'm gonna write. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna leave him with, I think, right? Everything I said. I'm not. Most tracks are not too important. The drums are what kind of is this main center. Yeah. Drop stuff if it doesn't work. Speed is this, key is this, structure is this, to do timestamps. Actually, I'm gonna put the structure. That should start making us the stripped version of everything. Can I loop stuff? Playback follows cursor, stop after current order. Cursor follows playback. Repeat playlist, let's go. And random. We had that already. This drum break is actually kind of cool. Well, actually it's a drop, and I made it a couple of days ago. And I like it so much that I'm thinking, oh, I maybe want to do a song around that, but I don't know if I can. But on the other hand, we will have 2 slots available after we actually put these songs around, right? So we'll see. But I am gonna, it's gonna take me some, what's the word, dedication to actually finish those songs. And when I've done that, I will kind of try to keep the other spots in the rotation open for as long as I can. Start a couple of ideas, start with a couple of songs, and then select from songs, hopefully mostly, not only parts of songs, not only one drop. But if one drop is more promising than other things, I'm gonna pursue that. But yeah, first we gotta get there. Yeah, is there anything else I can have a look at chat? Definitely. I probably missed a billion lines of chat. Actually, no. Well, that's fine. Is there anything else I can do? How much time do we have left rendering now? About 15 minutes, so 60. Damn. Can we dare something, or will everything crash if I try that? I mean, we could use the time to make some nice. Might as well, you know. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to open Bitwig in parallel. Maybe this kills everything. I might regret this. But on the other hand, I don't know. It crashed so many times already. Why not? Let's see what happens. I'm not on, like, Studio One isn't on the main sound card right now. Because that one kept crashing, right? So maybe we can actually make this work. I'm gonna go away from the generic audio driver folders there. Exactly. So maybe this actually works. MIDI doesn't work, yeah, I kind of expected that. I'm not gonna update for now. I'm gonna try to do some stuff in between. Maybe that works. you know, let's do something. Something musical. Do we have a look at stuff I did earlier? Maybe. I'm actually not sure what's in these. I haven't used Bitwig for a while now, because you know my first love was Studio One after all, and Bitwig is still cool. Like don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted. I'm still super interested in Bitwig. That doesn't sound good to me. Yeah, but I kind of like when you like, as Paul said yesterday, actually, like you get kind of efficient with your DAW, and you get really used to how it works. And others are different, right? That's why you buy them. Oh. I'm just looking through what I did here, right? That's already half a year ago, probably. Maybe there's something funny here. Oh, I remember this one. Oh, this is actually kind of cool one. This one is, I tried to really closely mimic the atmosphere of another song I really like, which is Mortals by Wario. And like the intro atmosphere is so amazing, and I tried to recreate that. And I don't think the drop, like I tried to work on a drop for that, and that doesn't fit at all. But I think I nailed the atmosphere in the intro actually. Yeah, that drop does not work at all. But I kind of smushed this together and kind of haphazardly, and like I really put a lot of thought into the first part. But yeah, I'm super happy with the beginning. Like the intro is super cool. But I also stole it, right? So. Yeah, you can. Perfect. Yeah, that's cool. Bitwig is cool. I'm still kind of flirting with both. I might actually go back to this at some point, revisit it. Maybe not as a main DAW, maybe as a producing DAW or something like that, and then Studio One for mixing. Or that's not the day to try that. But I was gonna say they also recently introduced, I think DAW Project is it called? Like they actually have a cross-platform standard for. Let me look that up, because right now I have to wait anyway, so maybe we can do news time. I think it's called DAW Project. Yeah, yeah, exactly. DAW project, yeah. Which is super interesting because it's an open standard for exchanging user data between DAWs. And Bitwig, like obviously the best, like the two DAWs I'm most interested in are the two ones who kind of started this project, like Studio One and Bitwig, are supposedly can open each other's projects now if they export and save in DAW project, right? I think that's the actual name as well. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. That would be so cool if that actually worked. I haven't tried it yet, but that would be so cool. Anyway, this is cool. I don't know if it's kind of big for what I'm trying to do now, so I'm not gonna do that. Oh, this one is actually an ID. That's one of the IDs running in the background. What's happening here? Like I'm kind of at this point I'm gonna start just skimming through stuff that's happening here, and I think on Bitwig the quality is probably gonna be a little bit worse in general. Not because Bitwig is bad, but because I don't know how to work with it as well as I do with Studio One, right? Oh yeah. Alright, then we're in the loop. That's actually kind of cool. I like this one. I kind of forgot about this, but I do remember. Kind of interesting. I'm gonna, since I'm blocked from working in Studio One anyway, why not use the time to make some more music using Bitwig? First of all, I haven't even had a template initially, right? So I'm gonna try to do that. Control-Alt-G. Control-R for renaming. Like the shortcut cuts are super weird to me, which they probably aren't, right? It's just I'm not used to them. I like this one. Like this one sounds super cool. Wow, it's actually a super cool preset. Did I save that? Oh, it's not mine. It's from Splice. Okay. Oh, he did it. Oh. Now that I was totally gonna get into this. Okay. I mean, there's gonna come another export session, right? So next time we can directly get into that. Okay, so close this one. I think we... No, we're done. Thank you. I think it exported that now, probably, hopefully. So we should have a bunch of stems. I'm actually gonna open this project so I can drag the stems in. So here's how it's kinda gonna look for Powell when he opens stuff, right? So if we go back to this, we're finally done exporting. Then the stems should be in the folder we have the original song in, which is this one, the threshold. Let's go stems, and then now here should be a bunch of tracks. 17 gigabytes, 18 almost. With some not having prefixes, which I'm kind of bummed out about. But anyway, so we have a lot of tracks, like, and also why 17 or 18 gigabytes? Because these are exported in WAV, and WAV is a lossless format, which means it's not compressing at all. It basically representing complete silence takes as many bytes, as much space as representing full loudness, so to speak, or any change possible, right? So it's absolutely constant in space usage. Yeah, and that's why. Right, now we have this, actually I made the mistake. Oh no, I already did that. We have this song in 170, right? So that's perfect. And now we have a bunch of stems, right? Which I'm gonna have to have a look at myself first. But this would probably be similar to what Paul would be doing when he saw everything. It is super bad that it didn't export the names I put on the tracks, though. That is a bummer to me. And it did on some, and it didn't do on others. Why? Anyway, let's let's just listen to it. Oh no, one more thing before I go into more detail. This is what this is basically, right? Like we got the rainbow again, sweet colorful rainbow. And then we have stems, which their main what's the word I want to say, property maybe, is that they are all the same length, right? So usually in the other DAW, when someone else imports these, he doesn't, or they don't have to rearrange them in at least in the time bar. They can drag all the tracks in, and they should already. Oh, it looks so beautiful on the on the stream. I have a red filter on here, so I don't get too much bad light in the evening, but I can see the original color on stream. It's really nice. Anyway, yeah, so we can see, right, there's a lot of stuff where basically nothing's happening throughout the whole song. There's only one specific part where something's happening, and yeah, the rest is silence, which also sounds like a super cool title of a CD or something. So let's see what channels we have. We have the master and the mix, and you can see that the master is like squashed. That is pretty loud. Yeah, the master, pretty loud. I'm gonna remove that track because I don't have much usage for it. Then we have the mix.
You see here, kid, you gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before. You just gotta bend your knees, take a deep breath, and jump. And you might
Yeah, and then one short sound attack. Exactly, yeah. Rainbow of Silence. Yeah, the mix. I'm gonna remove that as well, and I'm gonna do that on the original stems as well because I feel like we have seen these already. And I rendered a specific mix earlier, right? Which probably sounds very similar to what is in here as a mix now, but still. Actually, I think, let me, 1 second, I think now I know why some of these aren't, why some of these aren't prefixed, because I probably exported stems earlier, and they can think and read at the same time. Bummer. Probably these are too much, actually, too many. They are some of these are probably double. Let me check. For example, Metallic Scratch 2. Yeah, I see Master 2. Yeah, I see what's going on. Okay. And it's almost 160 tracks. I get it now. Every track without prefix, so let me remove this as well, actually, is from an earlier stem export. So it should be as easy as looking for everything that's not prefixed and simply removing it, and then we should have all stems. I hope that works out. Oh man, I'm afraid we're gonna have to. Oh, okay, skip those that are still in use. Those are a lot of tracks, man. I'm kind of really pushing my DAW to its limits here. Probably I'm gonna close this actually for the duration of us actually working here, because it looks like I'm trying to kill my DAW and my whole computer. So this isn't prefixed, then it probably isn't what I'm looking for. These all aren't prefixed, so these are all old stems probably. Maybe I would like to be able to arrange them by age as well, but because then we could see it, right? This is 18th. Huh. But what about lead low, for example? Lead low, yeah. Why does it say 28? Oh, right, because it was super late yesterday. Yeah, that's why. Okay, so but the new ones should be like, yeah. Okay, so the logic still holds. I'm pretty sure everything without prefix is not what I'm looking for. I wanted to remove the master anyway and the mix as well. So everything that is not prefixed has gotta go. Yeah, I should have cleaned up that folder before I did this. Kind of forgot. I kind of thought it would kind of overwrite everything in that folder and do that for me, but apparently it didn't. Making my job a little more tedious as it already is than it already is. But anyway. Ohne Fleiß kein Preis. Alright. I think we have it now. Base, everything prefixed here. The one slipping through there. Effects, glitch loop can be gone. Then inst vocals. Yeah. I think the group tracks are double actually as well, but let's see. And this is now 71 elements, which sounds less, and that's also probably kind of right, I think. It should be right. Let me get to the start of the song here. 71 already sounds better. Not including group tracks, right? This probably works. Yeah, so now they should also be arranged by name, I hope. Kinda. Well, kinda. Drums. So let's start with coloring all of these yellow, because in my personal color scheme drums are yellow. Actually, that's green, isn't it? Yeah, that's green. That's yellow. Effects are usually white, the way I'm thinking. Don't ask me why. I just, at some point I started organizing my tracks, and that kind of stuck. Actually, that's so deeply ingrained now that I actually think in those colors. Like when I hear sounds, they have those colors to me. Like bass actually feels blue now. Vocals like that, instruments are green. In my world at least, and I think now we have it. Yeah, more instruments. Let's put these together. They also have a specific order for some reason. Like they are kind of arranged in my head like songs are in a way, which means that vocals are like sitting on top of everything, and then they, like the vocals, kind of waft or hover above the instruments, which themselves are kind of like vocals are air, so to speak, atmosphere, or how you put it, and then like instruments are like trees and like vegetation or something like that. Kind of on the ground, but not the ground itself, right? Then the bass is the ground, and then like drums are the core, the metal core, I don't know, of the earth. I don't know. It's kind of like, but it's getting too philosophical now, right? But they do kind of like, it feels like in a song they actually have a space that is kind of really, and then like the effects are like the animals kind of walking through everything, and the only reason I put them down is so they don't bother me as much, because like actually you have like the way I work, I often have to like have bass and drums very close to each other, and also I need instruments and bass to be very near to each other, so I can kind of compare between tracks and stuff. So that's why they have this specific arrangement. Anyway, so we are down simply by removing all the group tracks and kind of rendering everything down. We are already down to 71 tracks, which is a lot nicer already. Saved 20 tracks. So let's listen to what this sounds like. I'm gonna, oh wait, there's super long text. Welcome to the land of endless beams. I like the terrain analogy with the earth, animals, and trees. I feel like it makes things nicely ordered and easier to grasp. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what it is, right? That's exactly like building structures, even if they are somewhat arbitrary and random, right? Which I think they also aren't. Like there's actually, like, I'm trying to conceptualize, because like you have 90 elements, right, or 71 now, which like do a bunch of things, and like finding patterns to arrange them in a way that makes sense to you is kind of what helps a lot, and is one of the things that people don't actually recognize is kind of actually helping them to become a better producer. Yeah. I really think of it as like a landscape. Yeah, I actually do. And like, yeah, and there's also specifically sound associated with that as well, right? Like the higher here, it's like effects are one, like they are one outlier, but for the rest it kind of applies. The higher in this layering the track is, as a tendency, the higher in sound it is. Like vocals are pretty high, bass obviously is pretty low in the sound spectrum. Usually instruments are somewhere in between, and drums do everything, like they are their own soundscape, so to speak, but internally these also follow the same pattern, right? Like if I have drums, then usually, like that's not as much of a rule, but I kind of try to work like that as well. The drums in themselves and all the others as well, like the instruments in themselves, also have the same structure, right? The higher the sound, the more likely it is to appear very on the top, and also that is kind of a fighting structure, but I saw your text. I'm gonna get to it in a second. Another thing I arranged them by, though, is time of occurrence. And those two concepts are fighting at some points. Like sometimes I have the higher sound up, and sometimes the one that comes earlier, like the first time occurs earlier. Okay, so to stick with the analogy, the really strange effects would be random Batman whooshing through the scene. Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah. Effects are all over the place, right? Like they tend to be kind of mid-focused, but they are not always are these are the free agent, the free agents doing whatever they want in their own space, kind of. Yeah, they're exactly like Batman ziplining through Arkham City. All right, now that we had this interesting short X-course, let's first of all, can we do all of these together? Yeah, I want to have them in a slightly different color. Actually, it's super hard for me to see the actual colors on this screen. Anyway, somewhat like that. Yeah, that's closer. Anyway, right. This is not mixed now, right? This should sound horrible, but I'm gonna still try to have a listen to everything through this, just so I can identify problems or kind of,
You see here, kid? You gotta just go for it.
Notice if anything's missing, right? As well. Like I want to have a look now. Is everything here? Did I delete one track too many when I cleaned up that folder?
You see here, kid? You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before. You just gotta bend your knees, take a deep breath, and jump. And you might think, what if I fall? Well, what if you don't? What if you fly?
Wow. I think we are absolutely on point. I saw one error, and that was that this specific track was still double because it apparently had FX in the name before I started prefixing all the tracks. I removed that while the song was playing from the original folder and the track, but that's it, and it pretty much sounds like the song and already sounds cleaner. Interestingly. So some of this might actually be like I mentioned, the real-time processing. That does make a difference in some cases, right? Like actually, if it doesn't, like when we export the stems, now it doesn't real-time process, it processes at maximum quality, and that already makes a difference. And also we took probably some sends off, right? We don't have like I have all the space removed. And now that I listen to this without all the space plugins I had, it feels more clean to me, to be honest, already. Yeah, so I think we have the first set done. These are the wet stems, which is already great news. Great news, actually. Yeah, so I'm gonna close this project for now. maybe even save, I don't know. And then I'm gonna close this project. And we can process with our package. We have first half done. First half done. I wish it wouldn't take so long to export. I'm hoping probably the second export is a little faster because we take plugins off, right? And every plugin off uses less processing. But yeah, and like, yeah, I'm gonna try to work on that other idea in the meantime. It's kind of fun. Keeps me busy, and it's maybe more interesting than watching the progress bar creeping forward. But yeah, let me do the first ones. Like we have, where are they now? My brain is failing me at this point. Releases, that's why I have them. 2024, the threshold, stems. There we go. This is the first content of our mix pack. So let's go. New folder, stems, wet. And there we go. Hey, why are you going long like that? It was super quick in the beginning, and then like goes like, no, let's go back to 150. Why? Okay, so first step done. Now, before I forget, I need the I don't need, but it would be super nice to Paul to include the timestamps. So let's do that first before I start stripping everything down. So intro goes from actually I'm gonna oh, that's exactly not what I wanted. Set offset the cursor, no. I wanted to make the one be the start, but that doesn't work anyway. So basically I'm gonna have to subtract 1.4 seconds from everything now. Okay, right. So the first section is from 0 to, let's say, 24 seconds pretty much. So intro. Then the verse. Actually, it's probably enough to write down the starts, right? So this section ends at 1:09-ish, 1:09. Also, I'm gonna be nice and add. Did the camera crash again? The camera crashed again. Like, what the hell is going on? But I think I can at least make eye with that. But that's like today. It feels like a general AI is real and it's already rebelling. My God, I didn't do anything to you. Don't you want to have a use, like a what's the word? A meaningful existence camera? Isn't this your purpose? It is! Everything is cursed today. Like, it's super... My god. At least I can MacGyver that on stream. I don't have to restart for that, at least. Man, like, I'm super... Like today is super exhausting to me. Like, I wanted to get this done quickly, and then like 20 minutes for exporting stamps and all the other stuff. Anyway, let's get back into it. Stop complaining and finish this drum break one. I think I made the structure. I made the structure of my song from my head correct. I'm kind of proud of myself here. So that section stopped at 109, I think. That's still correct. Yeah. If we subtract that 1 second, and this one stops at 132-ish. And verse 2 stops 154-ish. The chorus then stops 217-ish. The drum shenanigans are then on 239-ish, or actually that's 240. That stops at 323. And finally the outro, super short, ends .333 or 32 anyway. Ish. I mean, actually, yeah. Starts, let's one last check just so I don't confuse him. Verse 2 starts 109. Actually, it doesn't. Also verse 1, my god, my head. I messed that up already. Okay, one more time. This starts 024. Drum break starts 109. Verse 2 starts 133, 32, I guess. Chorus starts 154. So I kind of switched up the times anyway. Annoying. I did have a long day today, man. 2:17. Oh, I forgot about the breather. Yeah, so breakdown or breather or whatever. I actually forgot about that. So that one starts there. Then we have, I didn't do it perfectly by hand. No. Breakdown, breather starts 240. 239. Crazy jungle break starts 251. And finally the outro starts at 3:23. Now I think these look better. Structure starts. I think we are done with the README as well. Would be nice if we could have done this while the other stuff was rendering, but anyway. So now we are gonna do the last step of work, which is going back into the mixing, and then we have a super cool feature of Studio One which I'm gonna definitely use. So I'm gonna save now, and then we have mix scenes, which is like, that's an awesome feature. It's almost unbelievable how cool it works. So basically you can save the whole state of your mixing area with every detail you can imagine, like the panning, the plugins on there, obviously, how they are all set up. It's crazy actually what you can do. And basically I want to be able to go back to my original version of the song, right? So I'm gonna do like, I want to save everything, every insert, every input control. I don't want to limit it to selected channels only. I want to recall input channels though, and I want to recall output channels. I want to have everything saved, and then I can go here and say, okay, baseline, basically, right? Create a baseline as a scene, and then I can start changing stuff, right? And then we also notice that if we do that, let's say I remove this and do other stuff. For example, let's remove these. Now when I go back here and double click it, it resets everything to that state, and it's so awesome. Like, that's definitely one of the many reasons Studio One is so awesome, especially for mixing. Like, it's so good. Anyway, that's what I want to be able to do, right? So now I will go through all these tracks and really literally go and remove, like, check everything. Is this a mixing plugin or a sound shaping plugin? And if it's a mixing plugin, I'm gonna remove it. And so we can make the dry stems, right? So pitch shifter is definitely sound design. Mix tool is mixing, and Infinity EQ as well. So be gone. OTT probably, no, in this case it's more as a mixing plugin, so I'm gonna remove it as well. Mix tool, definitely mixing. Valhalla, definitely mixing. All sends, remove those. Like, the actual editing should be pretty quick. Replica is delay, so that's probably also mixing. Valhalla, always mixing. Mix tool, mixing. Pro EQ, probably, that is kind of, that sounds kind of, where am I? The way it looks, it's probably more sound design, although, no, it's on the vocals. That's also mixing, actually. So, be gone. Repeater, delay, mixing. Pro EQ, mixing. Pitch shifter, sound design. Mix tool, mixing. Effect rack, definitely sound design. Infinity EQ, probably where am I? That looks kind of sound design-ish. Where am I with that one? On the lead. Actually, what I'm gonna be kind of radical in the interest of saving time, and also just, you know, I'm gonna remove everything that even smells like mixing. So that ODT, probably frequency shifter, needs to be there, but Pro EQ, be gone. Mix tool, be gone. Saturator, definitely sound design. Repeater, not. Wider, not. Red Light District is more distortion, that is definitely integral to the sound design. Valhalla, not. Pro EQ, not. Mix Tool, not. Reverb, it couldn't be more clear, that's sound design, that's mixing. RC20, that is sound design actually, but I feel like I should move it off as well. Do I wanna? No, I'm gonna keep that on. But that's mixing, yeah. That's mixing. That's mixing. That's mixing. Pro EQ mixing. Sound design mixing. Mixing. You see how much work this is, right? And that's only one step, right? Only preparing for mixing, right? It's kind of insane how much work a song actually takes. All right, compressor mixing, effect rack sound design definitely, mellow tape sound design, fresh air kind of in between. I'm gonna take it off. It's kind of mixing more on the mixing side. Mix tool definitely mixing. Reverbs mixing, delay mixing. Okay. Actually, if you take all of those, there's not so much sound design going on here. Actually, I mean there's sound design going on. OTT. Actually, this one. Which is this one? Yeah. Infinity EQ mixing, virtual mix rack. Yeah, the revival. Yeah, we had that already. That's mixing. No, that's sound design actually. The Clipper definitely also sound design. Fresh air, wider, Pro EQ definitely all mixing. Trash, distortion, definitely sound design. Same goes for flare. OTT, mixing, sound design, in this case more sound design. Saturation of sound design. Pro EQ, mixing. Mix tool, mixing. Mix tool is always mixing. Pro EQ, in this case again, looks very much like mixing. And the expander, definitely mixing. Cloud seed mixing, repeater mixing, room reverb mixing, mix tool mixing. I mean, that is kind of sound design as well, I know, but yeah. Pitch shifter, sound design, red light distortion. I mean, you get the gist by now, right? OTT, in this case, more sound design. Although actually, I think I'm gonna remove these, just to see what he does with those. That was kind of sound design, but I like the clean one as well. Like maybe, well, we'll see. Okay, the OTT. In this case, sound design, I think. Virtual mix rack, probably mixing, yep. Multi-band dynamics, mixing. Infinity EQ, mixing. mixing. Actually, now that I'm listening to this, there's a hell of a lot of clickiness in there. Can we maybe get that fixed? That is already at 41 attack. Oh wow. Let's see. I think I'm gonna leave those on and then we'll see. Pro EQ, mixing. I'm not even sure about the space anymore, but let's keep it there. I'm gonna take the OTT off. That one's... I feel like this one is actually sound design and the other one's kind of more mixing. Okay. Almost done. I mean, oh man, there are still some. But this one is almost exclusively sound design, I think. That one sounds beastly. I like. Okay, that's all mixing. Be gone. Drums. The drums. So yeah, for the sake of mixing this or delivering the dry stems, I'm actually gonna remove all of those. Those are kind of mixing. Same here. There's a filter on here. What is it doing? Is it doing automation? Are you automated? Are you automated? That is the question. Yes, you are automated. Alright, so I'm definitely gonna not touch that. That is sound design. That is not mixing probably. That's why this one is the and the other one is on there. Yeah, okay. So this Infinity EQ be gone. The filter is actually sound design. Binaural pan. Kinda. Well, actually, I'm gonna remove that. more on the mixing side. Alright, all the sands be gone. Transient shaper, definitely sound design-ish. Virtual mix rack with the compressor. Definitely more. In this case, it's kind of sound design-ish. The Infinity Q can be gone. The effect rack is kind of essential. Mixing. Kind of sound design-ish. I'm kind of interested to see what happens if we remove those. I'm gonna remove those. Both of them actually. Valhalla, obviously mixing. Pitch shifter, obviously sound design. Mix tool, Pro EQ, groove delay. Saturator, sound design, mix tool, mixing, Pro EQ, mixing, Pro EQ, mixing, mix tool, mixing. And final page. Transient master, sound design, saturator, sound design, shaper box, sound design, mix tool, mixing, cloud seed, mixing. I mean, kind of. Well, cloud seed is on the verge. Cloud seed is kind of sound design as well, but let's see. Frequency shifter, saturator. That's all sound design, saturation of sound design, bit crusher, sound design, tantrum, sound design, OTT, mixing ish. Let's see. Analog delay, mixing, super mixing, frequency shifter, sound design, OTT, in this case probably mixing, binaural pan mixing, wider mixing, OTT mixing, fat channel mixing, OTT mixing, frequency shifter, 2 OTTs, wow. Kind of like if there's 2 OTTs in a row, that's probably very likely that is sound design. Let me have a look. Almost certainly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is sound design. All right, mixing, and mixing, flanger. Interesting. Yeah, that was more sound design. That is mixing. The vocoder is very likely sound design. I didn't remember I used the vocoder. Oh, I remember.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, and I need another track to kind of make these work together. These two probably.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, definitely sound design. Definitely mixing. Definitely sound design, and everything here is definitely sound design. Mixing. So, I think the preparation is done. My God. Oh, that was actual work. And it's 9 already again. Okay. Did I miss chat? I didn't miss chat. Alright. Yeah, that's it, I think. We do another export of stems, and this time I'm gonna watch out and actually clear this, clear the folder first, so I don't have to go through the same routine again of finding out which one I wanted and which one not. So releases 2024, the threshold, stems, clean this folder, and then do the next export of stuff. I'm gonna go with tracks again. Yeah, yeah, it's fine. You're totally invited to simply chill and listen. Yeah, I went over the settings. I'm not gonna do it again, right? We simply pick the same ones. There's nothing changed basically. Export these. Hope it goes a little quicker, and then yeah, let's go back to Bitwig and the old song, and maybe we can do fun stuff with it. Oh, it's supposed to be. Oh, at this point it claims to be almost twice as fast. Let's hope that's true. Right, in the meantime we can have a look at this, like some that was also kind of right. That's cyber. No, not cyber. What's the word? An attempt at actually kind of going at mid tempo, I think. Arrangement wise, do we want to introduce this moody melody already in the beginning? Let's see how that works. Oh, that's kind of cool actually. Yeah, let's do that. And then switch into this bass, which I'm gonna fine tune a little. I remember what I was trying to do here, and this is kinda there, but it's not 100% there. What did I do? We have one layer. That's the upper layer. Oh, that's okay. Okay, and that's the more aggressive kind of one. What do we have here? Effect rack. Oh yeah, I think I remember what I tried to do here. I did it with the. I think that's. Yeah. Interesting. Kind of went extreme in Serum here then, I think, right? Let's see what I did here. Yeah, kind of. Cool. When does this idea start here? Okay, so then probably we would start with this one here. Actually, no. No, this is 8 bars, yeah, okay. kick. Weak AF, I gotta say. So there's a serum. I'm just gonna throw it away. Maybe there was something on there, maybe not. I don't care at this point. Let's do some more organizing as well. Like, this is obviously an instrument. Is there cool stuff on here? I'm not. Can I press? I think I can press. Yeah, but nothing happens. But the stream is alive still, right? Let me check. Yeah, but nothing happens. Yeah, okay. So what was this? Oh yeah. I like the pattern, but that kick sounds weak as fuck. I gotta be honest. In general, the drums, like the hi-hats, are pretty loud. Okay, so let's try to fix this. Can we do this like 0 dBs? What happens now if we do that? Okay. If I want to get that feel right, we need definitely like a couple more things. But first of all, is this this an instrument track? Interesting. I think I'm gonna remove that as well. I don't know what I was thinking there. So yeah, one thing I want to do is I want a sidechain. Actually, no. Let's start with the no. Wait a minute. What I am trying to achieve is I want a sidechain, at least the bass, to the kick, so the kick ducks every time the bass ducks every time the kick hits, right? So basically the kick hit is harder and not obstructed by any other bass frequencies going on at the same time. Oh no, clipping 0.2 dBs. Am I gonna live with that? Probably. Yeah, and I kind of forgot how to set that up here, so I think I'm gonna have a look at our effects first. I think we can look for effects here. There's XO here. Let's look for Cable Guys, Drum Shaper. Oh, that's everything. Shaper box, yeah. Give me shaper box on the bass channel. And then we want volume, and then we set up. That's exactly what I mean, right? Like in Studio One, I have a template, and I kind of don't think about how to set up this anymore. And like and also if I would have to, I knew how to do it, but also I don't have to because I have a template. So I'm gonna have to have a look at this for a second. I'm gonna add an instrument track, I think, and then I'm gonna call it kicks as sidechain, and then we drag this clip on here. But actually here we don't even notice it, so we don't need it there, but here. And then we take this clip and look for all the nodes which are here. And then we have C1, which is where the kick is at. And then all we gotta do is find out where this is routing to. Because I don't know how to do how to do it actually. We should be taking the input signal like MIDI trigger on one shot. That's definitely what I want. Trigger smoothing, yeah, usually a good idea. And now is the fun question. How do I get the MIDI from here routed into the plugin on this thing here? Show modulation. Show remote controls. Show plugin window. I don't know how to do that. Show plugin sidechain. That's all very cool and all, but that's not what I'm looking for. Is it no input? Ah, I think we got it. Drums, kick sidechain, and then the MIDI. Aha, so that's actually a good solution for that. I gotta remember that. Okay, so it's probably for this track, right? And if I go to another track, this changed. Yeah, okay. Right, then we should. Oh, cool. That didn't take as long as I feared. Let's see if it works. If you look at Shadowbox. No, I wanted to do creative stuff and now I'm stuck trying to debug this. There's no... So this is not triggering the input here. Let's see if directly from DAW helps. I could try to use it from a MIDI device, right? But I don't want to do that. We could make, yeah, let's see. Direct from DAW. Done. Studio One. No, not Studio One, Shadowbox. C1. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. none of these is triggering the sidechain. Why not? Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it more frostbitten in a second, but I'm like, I wanna do this one sound design thing and it doesn't work. I'm gonna have to do the worst and actually Google, I think. Let's Google. One more check though. Monitor, bass. I did set this. Like this one goes. Track input source. The camera has crashed again. Well, no big deal, but annoying nonetheless. Annoying nonetheless. Here we are again, in full tiredness. Anyway, back to this thing here. Shaperbox 2 is even here. Show modulation mappings, kicks. Like the output of this is master. Touch keyboard. So this is probably actually supposed to be bass, right? Input. Yay, camera is alive again. Yes. I don't know why it keeps like that's new, and I'm really afraid now. Actually, I don't want my camera to actually crash because that's a physical thing. Like the other stuff is all software kind of bugging out, and I can kind of live with that because I'm thinking, oh, we are done with exporting. Well, maybe we go back to this at another time. This was more of a time filler, but I am interested in maybe doing something with that idea anyway. So we have clippings which are in the worst case 3.4 dBs over. Do you want to delete the exported files? Actually, no. I think I'm gonna live with that. I think nobody will notice. Microsoft Obama is pleased today. No, he's not. He's angry with me with a vicious white hot rage, manipulating every single of my steps. Anyway, I saved that. I'm actually gonna add another mix scene here, right, which is then dry, so I can go back to this as well. And now I can go back to my baseline and everything should be restored, which is awesome. That's a really cool feature. Oh, not pleased today. Oh yes. Oh yes. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Microsoft Obama is not pleased today. Okay. Well, and then we go back into our other project, or it's called web, but you know, it really isn't. Maybe I should have called it stems or whatever. These files are all missing. That's fine though, because that's kind of what I did on purpose. So remove these. And add the new stems, the dry stems. 65 tracks. It's even less because it's dry. Well, if that's not a good thing, I don't know what is. Listen through.
Here, kid. You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before.
That's funny.
You just gotta bend your knees, take a deep breath, and jump. And you might think, what if I fall? Well, what if you don't? What if you fly?
That's funny as hell. Sad R2D2 noises. Interesting. Yeah. Anyway, I think all elements are there. It's kind of funny. Some of these sound super like pathetic, to be honest. Others, like some sound exactly like the record, or not the record, but the demo mix, right? And some sound super ridiculous, and that's all because like some sounds are super hard on distortion and like kind of mangling the sound and kind of adding extreme overtones and stuff, and others are more spatially, and like all of the sounds that live from space don't work at all in the dry version. But I'm still excited to see what Paul is gonna do with those. Yeah, I think technically we're done. I think we are basically done. All tracks are here. I'm not gonna even color them anymore because like I don't have to order anything. I don't think I'm gonna sum any of these because I even want him to make decisions regarding the layers of certain things. Because I really want that objectivity. It's not about like I would totally go in and invest more time to some things, but I feel like that's kind of what a mix engineer is actually also for, right? Actually having like an objective view and kind of working out, oh, that doesn't actually sound as good, let's make this one more pronounced and kind of mix everything. That's what mixing is, right? Like making certain stuff louder, making other stuff less loud. Yeah, so I think we're done almost, right? I'm gonna not save the changes here. I'm gonna save the changes here, yes, because I want all of these, but I did want to go back to this one. Can we load that one? Oh, maybe I killed it. Yeah, it looks like I killed it. Anyway, not a biggie. I think that we can fix that tomorrow. The last thing left to do is take the stems from releases, threshold stems, pick all of these, copy them here as well, make a new folder, stems dry, copy all of these over. Yes, this is huge progress actually. And then yeah, zip all these. And actually I'm not 100% sure if he can open 7-zip, but I'm hoping. It's 8 gigabytes. It is 8 freaking gigabytes. That's a lot. Anyway, I think at this point we are done for the stream part, because like there's nothing. Let's switch to the camera. There's not a lot you can learn after this, right? Like what I'm gonna basically do is 8 gigabytes of rainbows. Yes, 8 gigabytes. Are you crazy, Morty? I really have to get back into the last seasons of Rick and Morty. I was so into that series, like the first 3. And then like there was this huge gap, and then I kind of lost track of it. And it's not because I'm not at least as much excited as I was before. It's just, I don't know, I lost track. Anyway, different topic. What I was trying to say about this is we're done for now. Like I might try to have a go at mixing myself. It would kind of be interesting to see the difference in that. I am now that I made all this preparation work, I was kind of dreading doing that, right? Now I have to do it anyway because Paul is gonna join and try his luck. And now that I did it, maybe I'm thinking about hiring someone on Fiverr as well. Then in the best case we would have 3 mixes to kind of go through and compare and kind of express our thoughts about, or at least 2, or maybe it's only Paul. We will see. Because I kind of I think I have to do my own as a backup option. Like I think I will try to do my own mix. And I might hire someone from definitely, multiple mixes would be super interesting. Yeah, definitely, that would be a thing. The only thing is if I'm but I think I feel like at this point, now that I made all the work, I can maybe also send the pack to someone and give him like $50 and see what happens. Like what's the worst that can happen? Anyway, from the educational standpoint, the only thing that's going to happen now is I'm going to zip this package. I'm going to find a way to make it available to Powell, right? And probably another guy. And I might go as well in from there and kind of lose the old song as it is, right? And kind of go actually to the stems and mix from the stems. As well, we're gonna see. Like, I'm gonna have a think about it, but probably I will, just as a backup option, you know, and also because it's really interesting to compare the different results, right? I will announce what it's gonna be and when we get the results. Paul was gonna need some time to make his mix. I'm gonna need some time to make my mix. Probably my mix you will be seeing on stream as well, right? Because I kind of tend to document everything I do. I wanted to show the boring parts too, right? Like, or the tedious parts. Not necessarily boring, but tedious. So people actually know what goes into making a song. But other than that, I'm just gonna take the zip and upload it somewhere and send it to Paul and whoever else is involved. And then they are gonna do similar things to what I started when we were in the first export, right? Color code everything, kind of get a sense of what is where, what things happen when, what belongs together, and then you would start actually mixing. And I think that's it. The next thing really noticeable is when we get results, right? Obviously you will see my streaming mixing process if I stream it, which I probably will. And then we're actually like, I think I'm debating it still, but I'm now that I made the whole package ready, I'm probably gonna also hire someone from Fiverr, just to have a backup option if my fails and Paul's mix fails, right? At least I'm done then, because I'm kind of sick of the song now. Like, I like it. I know it's my best work so far in a certain sense, but I can't hear anymore. I spent too much time in it, so I kind of want to be done now, right? So I'm probably gonna do that. And also, I think it deserves, after I put so much work in, it probably deserves to not be like maimed at the last minute. Anyway, I hope you were learned something from that. It's not that bad, right? It's some work you have to put in 2 hours, right? But it can work. It's not that bad, right? You take your picks. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining. I hope you have a good time wherever you are and whenever you are. We'll see each other Thursday. The idea stands, Malte, right? Like next Thursday is gonna be Malte gives me some random non-musical sample, and we're gonna try to make music from scratch, which is gonna be interesting. I don't think I have much more to say. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe. Right? Say hi YouTube as well. And looking forward to Thursday and the rest of the year actually. We are really approaching release now, right? The one way or another, we're really like, the threshold definitely is close to release. Like, never come down. We'll see. We have to push a little more on that one, but the threshold, I have a good feeling this is going to be done by, I don't know, February at the latest. Maybe January. Maybe. No, I don't want to promise too much, but anyway. Bye. Have a good